So my name is Russ. I'm your captain. We're fortunate enough today to have another captain on board, Patrick. Patrick will be our stern person today. The stern person is the guy, or gal for that matter, that does the heavy lifting for everybody else here. So we're going to take you out today and show you what it's like to be a lobster person here in Casco Bay. Casco Bay is also known as Calendar Island Bay because we have over 365 islands out there, most of which are open to the public. When I was this young man's age, my parents would take my sister and I out and leave us there for most of the day. Didn't worry about it. That was kind of daycare back then, I guess. Pick us up at the end of the day. So great place to grow up in the summertime. And as part of that, we start lobstering very young. You get a boat maybe 12 years old, and Patrick was fortunate enough to live on one of the islands year-round. So we'd have to take the ferry in, then a school bus to school, then a school bus back to the ferry, and the ferry back home every day. So it's pretty.
What does he do in the winter?
Yeah.
In the winter?
Yeah, year-round. Yeah. We're a demonstration boat. We're allowed to have 20 traps. Everything we catch at the end of the day will be released. We don't keep anything. We keep these lobsters in here because they are keepers and people might want to do photographs. And we are fishing. We never know if we're going to catch any or not. So we don't, the traps are out there. We typically always catch some lobsters, but we don't always get lobsters large enough to keep. And we'll talk a lot about that. So the way this will work is we'll get out around the islands and pull a trap out there. Patrick will pull it up. Feel free to get up and get around him so you can hear him, okay? Watch out when you are up walking around, and again, you're free to walk around. Watch for the waves. A ferry boat puts up some pretty good-sized waves, so just be mindful of those waves. Watch your step there. We have a restroom behind the lobster here if you need to use the restroom as well. It looks like we're going to be okay, but if you have anything that's valuable, keep it up on the bench here, or you're more than welcome to go into the wheelhouse and put it in there. Okay.
We look at those fins again. They look a little bit different. So those ones are going to be pretty thin, kind of feathery. You can bend them all around. So we can kind of see the difference between the two. So we need to know if it's male or female because that will tell us what we have to do next before we know if we can keep it. So our males, there's really not much else we have to do. All we're going to do is measure it and make sure it's big enough. Our females, there's a couple more steps. So they're going to be the ones that carry eggs. So we just want to make sure she doesn't have any. But if she did, it would be pretty obvious. There's going to be thousands of little black balls outside the shell right here.
Through the hole.
So, yeah, if it had eggs, thousands of little black balls on the outside of the shell right here, you'd see it right away. If it does have eggs, we can't keep it, we're going to throw it back. But before we throw them back, we mark them as a breeder because not all female lobsters do breed and lay eggs. So we mark the ones that do to make sure they get to stay in the water for the rest of their life. So on our measure, we have this little triangle on the top. That's what we use to mark them. So when we have a female with the eggs, we're going to take our measure, put it underneath her tail, just press down and rip out a little piece. And that way everybody's going to be able to see when she gets caught again that it's a breeding female, even if it doesn't have those eggs. They're going to know that it has to come out. This one does not have any eggs and there's no notch in the tail, so as long as it's big enough we can still keep it. So on our measure we have two sides. We have a 3 1/4 minimum and a 5-inch maximum. We're going to measure from the eye down the back right here on this flat part of the shell. So we take that measure, hook it right on behind their eye, and then we see where this point lands. So this one is a keeper. You can see that that point stays up on that flat part of the shell.
And you have to do that to every lobster that you catch?
I eyeball a lot of them.
Yeah, I will for sure. After a while.
Yeah, after a while. I've probably looked at a couple million lobsters. I've been doing this almost 10 years, so I don't really need to measure much. But this one's a keeper. So now that we have them we can keep, we have to put the bands on the claws. And we're going to put the bands on for a couple reasons. Mostly for the lobster. Because we don't want them to have their claws defective. have this one out. We're gonna have to get the rest of them cleaned out of the trap. So watts, gloves, and aprons and everything. It's okay. He'll get it.
Anybody else? Perfect. What is the beast? These are herring.
But most of the time we use herring. They're one of the better baits. It's one of the better baits you can use, and it doesn't really.
Yeah.
All right. Where is it?
Viens pousser la cage.
I'll tell you.
Il va te dire quand.
Just want to go straight.
Direct.
Guys all set? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, ready?
All right. Go.
Good job. Vas-y avec tes amis.
Oui, c'est ça.
Et raconte-leur sur la trappe.
Oui, c'est ça. Dis-leur tout.
Dis-leur tout. Dire qu'ils tombent pas pour la cuisine, le salon, la salle à manger. Là. Set you free.
It's only a baby. Aw, he's cute. It's a turtle lobster.